Hello and welcome to Mollie's Motif. This is Emily and today I am going to be putting together a Valentine's postcard. It's not going to be your standard typical A2 card. It still is an A2 size, so it will fit in an A2 size envelope, but it's just going to be a front and back. And it's going to be a Valentine's postcard for my niece, my 12-year-old niece, and I think she's going to get a real big kick out of it. I'm excited to put it together. I'm going to be following the sketch from Die Cut and Divas this week. Just going to follow this, that fun sketch, and the paper that I'm going to be using is from Doodlebug Design. It's the Day-to-Day 6x6 paper pack, and I picked this up from Teresa, the scrapbooking queen, on Facebook, and I think this is just such a fun paper pack. There's just lots of fun images and bright colors, and I just really like the patterns and the images in this paper. But when I saw the mustache paper, I said, that's what I've got to use. I have to use this paper. It's so fun and so cute, and my niece will just get a kick out of it. And then when I was looking through the other pieces in here, I came across this other style, and I don't know if you can see it, but there are all these teeny hearts on here. I thought that's perfect. It's just perfect paper to you know, complement my card, especially with it being Valentine's. So that's where my paper is coming from. And then as I was, you know, contemplating what I was going to do on my card, I was like, I don't think that I have a mustache image to go on the card to match the paper. And so I turned to My Cut Search. I don't know if you've used that before, but mycutsearch.com, you can type in whatever image that you're looking for. In this case, I typed in mustache to see if possibly any of my cartridges had one, because just off the top of my head, I didn't think that I did. And it told me to pull out the Summer Celebrations cartridge. And I just recently picked this one up. I haven't used it yet. And it does have a lot of good images for all the different occasions in the summer, like 4th of July, Independence Day, Canada Day. There's vacation images, summer party images, wedding, Father's Day, just a lot of really fun and cute images I'm excited to be able to use for this summer. But I'm actually able to use it now for Valentine's Day, so I was excited. But they did tell me to go to page, My Cut Search, it told me to go to page 40 of the handbook. And if you can see over here, the very last image that goes along with the card feature, because there is a card feature on this cartridge, there is a mustache and a tie. And I said, oh my goodness, that is perfect. But when I was trying to cut it out, you know, I cut it at my regular 3-inch size, and it was so teeny because it's made to fit on the card. And so I had to bump up my size to 15 in order to get it to, you know, a good size for the front of my card. So that's what I did. I did shift card and then cut that image out, that mustache, and I will show you how it turned out. You can find it here. Here it is. It's perfect. I love it. I love the shape of it. It's not too skinny. It's just the perfect size. And I don't know if you can see, I went ahead and embossed it. Maybe if I put it on the white paper. I don't know if you can see it at all. Shoot. But I went ahead and embossed it with a zebra embossing folder. I know that seems so random, but I wanted it to give a little bit of texture. And so I pulled out my Paper Studio zebra pattern embossing folder, and it just turned out so great. I'll see if I can get it in the camera to see if you can see it. There we go. The lighting is so horrible in my craft room. I'm sorry, I apologize, but there it is. That is the texture of my mustache, and I think it's perfect. So enough about that. So that's the image that it's going to go on the front. And just following the sketch, like I said, I just have the size is A2, just white cardstock, and then my first mat is just going to be this turquoise blue that'll go down on top, and I've embossed that with the Swiss Dots embossing folder, and just to give it a little bit more texture. And I did round the corners of both of these with my large corner rounder from Hobby Lobby. Did that even pick up? Yeah, okay. I'm kind of crazy today. So that will be how that goes. And then my next mat is going to be the mustache paper. So fun. I love the colors in this paper pack. I love them all together. They just are so fun together. And I rounded those corners as well with the large corner rounder. And then here is that heart paper that I showed you earlier. And I just cut 2 strips of that paper, and it'll just go down the center of the mustache mat, something like this. And then I pulled out my George cartridge to cut an oval. It's cut at 2 3/4, and I cut a shadow piece. And that'll just go up at the top like this. And then my mustache, I'm going to pop it up on some foam tape most likely. And maybe I should put, no, sorry. I was thinking out loud. I shouldn't do that ever. But I'll pop that up on some foam tape and it'll just go in the center of my oval. And I had to do it. I printed out on my computer the phrase, "I mustache you a question." I think that's hilarious. I think it's so funny. And my niece is she's gonna love it, I think. So I mustache you a question. And then I cut 2 little hearts. I cut from George these hearts at, where did it go? They're so small. At 1/4 inch, not 1 1/4, but 1/4 of an inch, the smallest setting that you can get on your Cricut. And they cut out great. I know you could probably use one of the little thumb punches of the little hearts, the confetti punches or whatever, but I just used my Cricut and it worked out great. So that is kind of how the front is going. And then I've got some flat back pearls that I had from Michael's Recollections. And they're going to go in the corner, and they're a blue color. They came in this pack of some pastels, and I just used the blue ones because I thought that color just worked great with the colors of the paper. So that is how the front of this postcard is going to go. So I'll get this all put together, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do on the back. Okay, so I've got everything put together, and I really like this postcard concept. I think it's kind of fun. So I'm excited that I kind of figured that out. I mean, I've done invitations where it's a front and back, but I've never done an actual card. So I kind of like that concept. But anyway, so the front, I was able to just pop up my mustache on 1 thickness of foam tape. Everything else is tacked down with either my ATG or my Zig 2-way. And so the front says, "I must ask you a question." And the back says, "Will you be my Valentine?" I think it's so cute. My niece is going to love it. But I took some more of that mustache pattern paper and just cut a couple more strips just to follow the sketch of the front, and then my sentiment mat just across the center there. And then from George, I just cut as many of the hearts at different sizes that I could get from my heart, that heart pattern paper that I used on the front, if you can see that. Super cute. And then, of course, all the little confetti pieces. But that is how my little postcard turned out, and I just think it's so cute. So, and like I said, I'm going to be entering this into the sketch challenge over at Die Cut and Divas, and then 2 Creative Chicks. They have their monthly challenge of Anything Goes. So I'll get those linked up over there, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I'd appreciate any comments or feedback that you'd have for me. You can always check out my blog. It's mollymugsblog.blogspot.com, and we will catch you next time.